From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, November the 21st, 2022. Two men were arrested over the weekend in New York City's Penn Station after police and authorities were alerted to what they called a developing threat to the Jewish community. The suspects were apprehended Friday night and formally arrested Saturday morning. Weapons found in their possessions included a large hunting knife, an illegal handgun, and a 30-round magazine. Reports also that a ski mask and a Nazi armband were found in their possession as well. New York Council member Ari Kagan shared that information was received Friday about one of the suspects, 21-year-old Christopher Brown from Long Island, for recent threats he made to unknown Jewish synagogues in the New York area, also citing a history of mental illness and that the suspect had expressed plans on social media to go to New York to purchase a firearm. NYPD Commissioner Keishant Sewell said Saturday, "Today we're extremely grateful to NYPD investigators and our law enforcement partners who uncovered and stopped a threat to our Jewish community." The Anti-Defamation League of New York and New Jersey, the Community Security Initiative, and the Community Security Service released a joint statement that they had been in contact with federal and local law enforcement about the threat, saying, "We are thankful for the work of the NYPD, the FBI, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, and MTA Police," noting that this incident comes at a time of heightened sensitivity and asking, as always, for the community to remain vigilant. An IDF soldier was assaulted yesterday morning by an Israeli civilian during clashes in the West Bank. The incident took place in Hebron as IDF soldiers were escorting Jewish worshippers to a holy site when clashes broke out between the worshippers, who some reports say started it, and Palestinians throwing rocks at each other. The female IDF soldier, herself a resident of Hebron, said that amid the violence, a Jewish man knocked her to the ground, hit her with a stick, and fled. Defense Minister Benny Gantz condemned the violence against the soldier and against Palestinian residents by what he called extremists in Hebron. Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid called the attack against the soldier a national disgrace, an immoral attack. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Aviv Kochavi said it cannot be that an Israeli civilian will violently attack IDF soldiers who operate to protect and keep civilians safe. This shameful and criminal behavior requires a rapid, lawful response. The soldier who was lightly hurt in the attack filed an official complaint yesterday. The suspect remains at large. Kochavi, meanwhile, arrived in the United States yesterday for an official 5-day visit. The IDF said the Chief of Staff will hold professional working meetings with senior officials in the U.S. Department of Defense and the U.S. Army as the guest of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, who awarded Kochavi the U.S. Armed Forces Legion of Merit for deepening the strategic partnership between the State of Israel and the U.S., awarded on behalf of U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin at an honor guard at Fort Myer in Washington today. A proposal to allocate just over $1 million to keep the stories of Holocaust survivors alive was approved by Israel's government yesterday. Prime Minister Lapid introduced the measure together with Minister of Social Equality Meirav Cohen, and he told the ministers at what he said was the last meeting of the 36th government of the State of Israel yesterday, "I am moved and proud that today we passed this important decision to document the stories of Holocaust survivors from Israel and around the world, a decision which will make a mark for generations to come." Cohen noted that the average age of the survivors is 86, and in fact, she said, "We have only a few years left to improve the quality of the lives of the survivors, and secondly, to gather as much evidence as possible to be immortalized for the benefit of future generations." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, November the 21st at 7 o'clock. Star of My Unorthodox Life, Julia Haart, shares her remarkable story with Rabbi Sherre Hirsch. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks to podcaster, author, and senior editor at Tablet Magazine, Mark Oppenheimer. At 8:30, Michal Tikochinsky, Penina Neuwirth, and Rabbi Sarah Hurwitz discuss writing commentaries from a female perspective. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Jerome Chanis, who talks about JFK and Israel on L'chaim. At 10, Bernard-Henri Levy talks about the changing role of America on the global political scene. And coming up next, I speak with the AJC's Holly Huffnagle about the monologue delivered by comedian Dave Chappelle on Saturday Night Live that has been criticized for normalizing antisemitic tropes. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, November the 21st, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.